Hey guys, welcome to another news breakdown here on SHODO-Pop. Alright, as always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and yeah, today we got our very first looks at Kamen Rider Horobi in the AI-03 lineup, but that's not all we got. We actually got a bit of O's combo change news, as well as a bunch of Shodo stuff. So, without further ado, let's dive right into Horobi. And first off, the blog wanted to take a look at the chest because it is fully painted. Take a look at that. That is fantastic. No stickers here. Well, except for the arms. It's looking like the black straps are going to be the only thing painted here on the arms, but those larger surface areas are going to be stickered up. And that's going to be a running theme in the rest of these pictures. But next up, here is the belt itself, and I'm happy to see that it's looking like the Progrise key and the belt sticker are going to be completely separate. I like that. Definitely do that more. I don't want it to be all one. Yeah, so next up, the legs. Here again, we see that the larger surface areas, those are going to be sticker detail, where the mostly the straps are all going to be painted. And if you count up the paint apps 1, 2, and 3, you actually get 14 total paint apps just on the legs themselves. Now, the team, the SHODO team, they wanted to note that, hey, we were deciding whether to do those larger surface areas or paint the straps, and they ultimately landed on the straps because it would probably cost too much in paint budget to paint those larger surface areas, and on top of that, you know, I don't think the stickers would have looked good if they had to apply them for the straps themselves. So I'm really happy with the stuff they ended up with here, especially since these are, again, larger surface areas and they're more flat. They are rounded a little bit, but they don't have as much raised detail to smooth out. So this looks absolutely perfect. I love the way this looks. That's not all, though. We also have our look at the bow, the thing that turns into a bow. I don't know the name. Tell me in the comments down below, I guess. But hey, check it out. No meat removal. We've got a full-on thing here, just like we did with the rest of the attached accessories. And it also looks really good in hand. Altogether, this figure comes with just this, which is a little on the light side, especially compared to its wavemate, Valkyrie. And, you know, that's understandable. It seems like she took a lot of the budget away from him, which, again, is perfectly fine. She comes with a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's it for AI-03 for this week, but we have some O's combo change news to get through, and this week we're only looking at O's and Ankh. Next week is when we take a look at just the rest of it. So yeah, get excited for that. But for today, we have O's, and do remember that he does have this weird thing where you need to make him up with 3 different boxes. Usually the other combos, those are only made up of 2, but, you know, classic O's, made up of 3 different things, so that works perfectly here. So they wanted to talk about the head first of all, because it's actually 2 separate parts. One part ABS, one part PVC. And the PVC is the front of the face, and that cannot be stickered. So they went in and painted it for us. The thing to note here is that they had a hard time trying to get the paint down right. Usually you spray over a silver and then you put the color over it, but they were finding that it wasn't working right. So after a lot of tries and after a lot of going back to the drawing board, they they worked on it. There was no easy answer here. They just worked through it all and came up with this, and it looks fantastic. It looks so accurate. So I really commend them for the amazing work they did here. It looks great. Good job, guys. You'll never see this, but good job. Next up, the chest. We knew this was going to be stickered, so, you know, this was par for the course. Same with, well, the arms. These are painted, except for, you know, the black sort of cheetah stripes. And then the legs are actually painted. So they also wanted to talk about the black that they used, or rather the sheen of the black plastic. If you'll see here, the Den-O figure from Chronicle, that's technically shinier than O's here, and that's because after they take the SHODO figures out of the mold, they usually polish it, but here on O's they didn't, because they wanted to get that really accurate matte sheen that he had in the show, and I feel like it's pretty effective. They said it looks better in person, so I'm excited to see where that leads. Also, we take a look at the calves themselves on O's, and this is really our only sort of look at it. There are accessory parts that we're going to talk about later, and this calls into question the mounting ability of the bata legs and how you swap them out, because it is that entire calf chunk, and it looks like it is like a different part. Like you pop it out, you pop out that calf area. I'll talk to you more about it later. Next up, we have the stickers that they wanted to talk about, and I know you guys don't like stickers. I don't like stickers, but hey, take a look at this. They were able to recreate different sheens on the sticker set. So the bata legs and the Tora arms, those, you know, all those colors, those are going to have to be painted differently, or at least the sheen is going to be different than the shiny red of Hawk. So what they did was they put down a white layer for those more matte looking applications, those matte looking stickers, and then they put the color over it to give it that matte look. And comparatively, they look very distinct, and that sheen on the sticker of the head, that paint match is spot on. And the sticker on the legs look very not shiny, I guess, you know, since that was the point. Anyway, next up, about the stickers, they wanted to note that they are giving you a blank sticker set, so you could either put in your own O's medals, or you could just leave it blank, like they do here. So basically, if you have another combo, you could leave it blank if you're swapping them out a lot, or you could fill them in if you really like that specific combo. Anyway, next up, we have the accessories. Now, like I was saying about the bata legs, those are separate and they don't have that sort of knee piece. We'll get to it later. First up, the sword. Now, this is the Metagaliber. Once again, no meat removal here, which is a common theme with SHODO now, so I'm glad that that's sticking. Also, there are going to be option sticker sets, which is completely fine, because if you get the box, you will have enough for both, so don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine, don't worry. Yeah, next up, the claw accessories. These are a simple, like, cuff swap, so that's neat. And here again, the bata legs, it's, again, it looks like that lower chunk is what's being swapped out, which is something we haven't seen with SHODO quite yet. So I'm interested to see how that all sort of plays out. Next up, we've got the scanning hand, scanning charge. You put the scanner comes with the hand, and in every like arm set, it's gonna have the scanner attached to a hand. So that's really neat. Next up, we have Ankh, and he looks fantastic. There are some really specific things the blog touched on, though. So first up is that the paint here, they used a very expensive method to get that sort of, I think they called it like a smearing technique, but to get that gradient between the green and the red. in development, they had even said that, hey, what if we just paint it all red? But they were committed to giving us this more accurate looking version, and I'm so happy for it. It looks beautiful. Thank you, SHODO. This looks great. So I really like this. On top of that, this thing is made up of 3 different parts. I don't know if you'll have to assemble it yourself, which wouldn't be too bad. It's just 3 parts, but they did it because in order to get the molding that they wanted, they had to separate it into 3, otherwise the mold wouldn't work, especially with all this sort of overhang stuff. So what we ended up with was very intricate molding on the palm, and that's just because we were able to split it up into 3 different parts. So this is awesome. This is wonderful. I love it. And yeah, it also connects to a stand, so that's good. I was expecting that, so I'm glad that it happened. It works well, looks good with AG, so all good here. Happy to report that this is a very good looking thing. But yeah, that's it for O's. Let's dive right into all of our Shodo news. So first up, we have our look at SHODO-O 2, and then a little, not really a tease, like the full reveal of the next SHODO-X wave. So there's not much here in SHODO-O to really talk about outside of, well, let's take a look at Oja first. I think that's his name. In the first release of any of the Ryuki figures, they did not have those lines in their visors painted, which was really annoying to me because it didn't look accurate and I had to do it myself. Here, though, they managed to fit those in, and I really appreciate it. Also, here on Ryuga, you have those reds that you are missing with Ryuki, and I felt was necessary, so I'm glad it's appearing here. On top of that, he does come with the black redder, so good stuff. Really great use of the mold. Oh, you know what? I'm just now realizing he probably doesn't have as much paint as Ryuki, so that might have been why he was able to get those. Anyway, next up we have the Horse Orphanok, and it is the Horse Orphanok. It looks beautiful. What do you want me to say? And then also this guy is here. Apollogeist is getting a re-release. We already knew that. It doesn't really look like he's gotten too many improvements outside of maybe the hips, but we'll see about that later. Anyways, next up we have our full reveal of the next SHODO-X wave, and it is starting with Stronger. This dude looks fantastic. Now, if you've been collecting Shodo when it was in Shodo Versus, you'll know that Stronger actually came out before, and he looks leagues different. I didn't even know that they were able to pick out all those dots in the eyes to emulate the show's detailing. But they did, and it looks great, especially here now, picked out in a metallic green. Not just that, it's like we're getting this nice sheen over the chest, and we're getting those a little bit of green on the abs themselves, so it's very, he got an upgrade, really. This is looking very upgraded, and the improvements are night and day. I'm very happy for this. Anyway, next up we have his bike. The set is going to be coming with his bike, so it looks like whoever's coming next isn't going to be getting their bike, sadly. But we also have his super form. So cool, I guess. I mean, really, another wonderful use of repaint. I'm happy to see this here, especially if we're budgeting this out perfectly, or if we're budgeting this out, we get one of these. Like, it's a repaint, they save money, and we get another form. So I'm happy about it. But the other thing to note is that this is going to be a mixed wave between Showa and Heisei. And the Heisei rider is Blade! We thought this was coming, we knew it was coming, and it definitely was. He does not have a SHODO figure, he does not have a SHODO figure. He was the last holdout to get a figure in either line, so I'm happy to see him here. He is going to be coming with some different holdy hands, as well as a splayed out version of his sword. And that's not all. He has cards. He has cards that will appear behind him. It looks great. So all of that is coming in the accessory pack, as well as, I think, you know, the holster for the sword and all that. I guess an empty version. And on top of that, there are those little red pieces there. So that's actually for the bike. And that means you can take this on-road version to an off-road version. You can apply those there. I'm pretty sure you'll get enough bike parts to make 2 bikes, so this shouldn't be an issue. My only issue, though, is that we won't get Blade's bike, and I was really into collecting these bikes. It's sad to see that he probably, you know, more likely than not, he won't be getting his bike. I'm hopeful, but I'm also a little pessimistic here. Anyway, that's technically not it for Shodo, actually. It's like sort of slightly Shodo related. It's figure stands. So, yeah, there was a listing that went up for these figure stands recently, and these are candy toy scale figure stands. The thing that made this interesting is that in their production images, they had a blank Shodo body. Now, obviously, this isn't coming with it, but they showed it off here just to show scale. They also gave us, you know, a layout of how big these things are, but like, this is a blank Shodo body. We don't get stuff like this anymore. We haven't seen a base Shodo body since the beginning of Xade. You can go back to Malunis's blogs about the Xade Shodo figures. We have not seen a base body since then. So this is incredible. Thank you to, I believe, in our Discord, the Candy Toy Discord, someone let us know about it. It was Adid Nuva, as usual, in the Discord, who let us know about this. But these things are pretty cool themselves. So again, this is sort of the measurements here, and they come in 3 different flavors. Now, they don't seem distinct to the eye, but those panels that are next to the actual base itself, there's one regular one and one differently patterned one. So one of them's a city looking one of them is a technology looking one of them's like a rock face looking one. And you'll be able, through all these pegs and holes and stuff, you'll be able to build your own structures out of these. So these are pretty fantastic. I'm honestly thinking of picking them up, but on the flip side, these are going to be like an 18-pack box, and it is going to be 4270 Japanese yen. So keep that in mind. It is pretty pricey, but you're getting a lot of them, so I am sort of interested. I hope these do well. Anyways, that's it for all of the SHODO and Shodo news this week. Sorry if I got this out late. I had some internet issues this past week, so this episode going up today, and tomorrow you'll be getting your standard episode of SHODO Pop, which I was not on, sadly, because, again, those internet issues, and we record on Saturday. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that and seeing or hearing what Malunis and Josh have to say about this. Also, don't forget to check out SHODO Sundays on the Toku Toy Store YouTube channel if you want more information over there. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.